Welcome everyone to the ASVP experience. I'm your host ASVP, and on tonight's show we got AEW going against NXT for the Wednesday Night War. Now, first of all, we're going to start off with the NXT review. First, we have Velveteen Dream coming out versus Adam Cole. You know, they have a promo. We were supposed to get Dream versus Finn Balor, which was really anticipated, but that didn't go through. So Dream versus Adam Cole, that doesn't go through. It's Undisputed Era versus Dream. Dream gets ambushed. Keith Lee comes out, helps Dream. Later on the night, our main event's Keith Lee and Dream versus Adam Cole and someone else in the Undisputed Era. The only thing is, Keith Lee gets ambushed midway through by Undisputed Era, and then we have someone else filling the void with Velveteen Dream, which I will come back to when it's main event time. Next up, we have Dakota Kai and Gonzalez taking on Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. And Gonzalez and Kai win. Now, this was a good match. Dakota Kai and Gonzalez are a really good tag team. Tegan Nox, Blackheart, they're also good. Not so Blackheart. She's just pretty average, to be honest. Though, Dakota Kai having Gonzalez in her corner, backing it up, was pretty good, which I like. And honestly, Gonzalez is like a big woman you want in wrestling. I don't really like the Nia Jax, Tamina's Gonzalez. You know, she looks fit, she looks great. You know, she's hard as balls. I really like that. Next up, we have a cruiserweight tournament match. We have the returning Drake Maverick taking on Drake Atlas. And honestly, I was surprised to see Drake Maverick as well, because, you know, he got released, came back. However, Atlas wins the match. And I reckon that's better that Atlas wins the match, because he has a lot of talent. Even though Maverick, you know, everyone was like sad because, you know, he got released, and then he made a video and he was crying in it. Yeah, which was pretty sad, but, you know, WWE gave him another chance. He lost the match, and that's all. Then next up, we had another cruiserweight tournament match. We had Kushida versus Tony Nese. And Kushida is really good. And also Tony Nese is good. If Tony Nese had, you know, just a gimmick behind him, but just something, the fans could really get behind him. But, you know, if it was anywhere else, Tony Nese would really be a star. But, you know, with his booking now, it's not really. However, it was a good match. And I really liked the ending. I loved how Kushida, how he actually got the Sakamara lock on the top rope, and he literally did a flip with Tony Nese, and he held it on and Tony Nese to tap out. Haven't seen that before. That was pretty crazy. That was actually a good match. I really enjoyed it. And then next up, we had Mia Lin versus Fox Kamaya, and Mia wins. Pretty straightforward match, more of a filler. They were just talking about, you know, how she's going to take on Charlotte Flair, how, you know, she's not still that innocent good girl when she started. She's, you know, evolved to be a crazy wrestler. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we have a cruiserweight tournament match versus Jake Gallagher taking on the debuting El Hijo El Fantasma. And I've actually seen Fantasma wrestle before, and he's absolutely a freak when it comes to the lucha system. He can do whatever he wants. He can flip how many times he wants. He's really good. And Fantasma actually wins this match on his debut, which was needed. And I might think El Hijo El Fantasma might actually go on and win the whole cruiserweight tournament. I reckon that's my pick for it. But yeah, like I said, good match. Jake Gallagher, you know, he has this new gimmick going on. He looks mean. They could have put Jake Gallagher against, you know, Drake Maverick for the first match instead of Drake Atlas, but, you know, it was pretty good. And then we had our main event. Dream coming out, and his partner, who is Dexter Lumis. And now he's a hard-hitting guy, which is pretty cool to watch. He is pretty good. So they take on the Undisputed Era, which is Roderick Strong and Adam Cole taking on Dream and Dexter. And, pretty average match for a main event. Dream and Dexter win. Nothing more for that one, actually. Then next up, we have AEW. Now, Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship Tournament match. And honestly, it was pretty good. Starts off with, Sammy getting out a ladder, planking it between the ring and the barricade. He puts Darby on it, jumps on him. It was pretty cool. Pretty good match. It's a pretty good match. Darby Allin gets the win, which I reckon was anticipated. But yeah, you had again Chris Jericho on commentary. That's just amazing. He's just putting Sammy over and over. He was saying how they're like one half of their El Sexy. It was just hilarious. Next up, we have a segment of Matt Hardy at the Hardy compound, and it was pretty cool. And I was just reminiscing, and I was thinking about his TNA days when he was like doing all of this. And people were just looking at him like, how weird is that? And then he just became so over, became one of like the biggest gimmicks in wrestling at one time. And then coming to WWE, and for 2-3 years they've wasted Matt Hardy. Like, Matt Hardy's at the stage of his career where he shouldn't be wasting time with anything, because he probably doesn't have long left. Him and Jeff actually both. But yeah, and it's pretty sad to see that Matt Hardy was wasted, especially, they had Bray then with tagging with him and all that. But what can you do? It's going to give a new breath of light for Matt Hardy. And yeah, it was pretty good, his segment. Then we had Kenny Omega returning after a few weeks of absence versus Alan Angels, or how Chris Jericho was calling him, Alan Eagle. It was more of a squash match. Kenny wins, just, for people to tune in just to see Kenny. Pretty good. Then we had Scorpio Sky. He did like one of his segments, talking about his, journey to AEW. It was the first part. It was pretty good. Just gave us a little insight. And then next week, we're going to get more about it. Then we had the classic Orange Cassidy versus Jimmy Havoc. Now, this match was good. And I like that this is probably the most we've seen of Orange Cassidy do offense in his match in AEW, which was pretty cool to see. Orange Cassidy wins. Loved it. Then we had MJF coming out. What can I say? MJF is probably the best heel in wrestling. Just how much he can make people hate him is just crazy. And he did it right as well. He did it good again. He had people swerved, and like it's just amazing to see his work. If you haven't seen this segment, go watch it. Then we had Lee Johnson versus Warlord. Warlord, which is MJF's bodyguard type of figure. He wins. Warlord, like I said, just another squash match just to beat time. Then we had a Brody Lee segment. That was okay. It's starting to get repetitive, which I don't like, and I don't want to see Brody Lee, like the former Luke Harper in WWE, but don't want to see Brody Lee, keep doing these type of, segments and promos and all this, talking about how good he is, how he can make people better. I want to see him do stuff more. And I really liked, he came out, he versus Justin Law, and he kicked the ass out of Justin Law. I really like seeing that. That's how Brody Lee should be positioned, If he's going to be the, one of the top heels in AEW, with a stable, the Dark Order, he deserves to, have squash matches, just win straight away, which is pretty good. Then next up, we had the Bubbly Brunch. This is the part 2 of the Bubbly Brunch. And it was like a little bit of a dance-off, with Sammy, with Chris. It was pretty good. Jack Hager was in there as well. Sammy wins the dance contest, and it got Chris Jericho livid. Absolutely loved it. Then we had the main event, Dustin Rhodes taking on Kip Sabian, and this was his retirement match, saying if Dustin doesn't win the match, he's absolutely not gonna wrestle ever again. And It's pretty good, not gonna lie. Good match. Dustin wins, which I think everyone knew that was gonna happen. So yeah, that was about it. Thank you for listening. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel,